Hi superstars! Today we are going to make delicious crunchy chinchin. I'll be sharing with you my mom's delicious and very crunchy chinchin recipe. For this chinchin we'll be using 6 cups of flour. Over the years I have seen and tested lots of chinchin. Hard, tasteless, not milky and not delicious. So this reminded me of my mom's special chinchin, which was very delicious, my superstars, crunchy, milky, and left everyone coming for more over and over again. So I'll be sharing with you that special recipe, and right now we're trying to measure the flour. As you can see, we didn't dip a measuring cup into the flour to have a good measurement. We are scooping the flour into the measuring cup to ensure that 6 cups is exactly 6 cups. We need the exact measurement to ensure that we have the right consistency of dough for chinchin. So I'm measuring the 6 cups of flour. Next, you add half cup of sugar, a quarter cup of powdered milk, add a spoon of baking powder, and a little salt to your dry mix. Now we are mixing our dry ingredients together. Okay, so this method is very fast. First, we are mixing our dry ingredients together, which is our flour, sugar, powdered milk, baking powder, and a pinch of salt. We are mixing it together. This method is very easy, my superstars. If you love not making your chinchin, now would be a good time to add it as a dry ingredient, but I'm not adding it. Next, you add a half cup of butter. My butter is salted, that was why I added a pinch of salt. Next, we're going to mix the butter into the dry mixture. We're going to mix the butter and make sure it blends into the dry mixture completely. At this point, I couldn't mix well with the stick, so I had to set the stick aside because I needed to mix the butter very well with the flour dry mixture. If the butter is not well mixed, it will affect the final dough. So I'm trying to mix it. At this point, my superstars, the butter has mixed very well. As you can see, it has a very smooth consistency now. We are going to make a hole in the middle and then set the dry ingredients aside. Now we are going to mix the wet ingredients. For this, we'll be using 1 egg. To the egg, I'll add a spoon of vanilla extract. Next, I'll beat the egg and vanilla extract to mix together. Next, I'll add 1 cup of water to the whisked egg and then mix it together. Pour some into the middle of the dry mix. Then start mixing it together. You add the egg mix bit by bit and keep stirring. At this point, I could no longer use the stick, so I had to set it aside and use my clean hands. After mixing the dough with the 1 cup of water and egg mix, it was still dry. So I added 1/4 cup of water to the mix. Please don't pour the 1/4 cup directly into the mix. You add it in bits until you have a consistent dough. Okay, my superstars. At this point, the bowl was too small, so I had to pour it on the clean surface and mix it very well. What makes a good chinchin is a well-formed dough. So I'm trying to mix it in. As you can see, my superstars, our dough is ready. It's elastic, and now we can go ahead and start cutting our chinchin. So I've cut a sizable portion. I'll be using a bottle to roll. So if you don't have a roller, you don't have to worry. You can improvise. My mom taught me how to use a bottle to roll out my dough. So now we are rolling out our dough. As you can see, I didn't spread any flour on it because I had a very consistent dough, elastic and smooth. So all I have to do now is roll out the dough on a clean surface. If you follow the ingredients and the exact steps I've shown you, you will have this exact dough. I'll leave the ingredients in the description box, my superstars. So right now we're trying to roll it out. We want it to be thin. We don't want the dough to be thick because we need very slim sizes of chinchin. When it is put in hot oil, it rises. So to have a very crunchy and delicious chinchin, you have to make sure you roll out the dough very well. Make sure it's slim before cutting it into sizes. You can see that thickness right there, my superstars. Very slim, as slim as 1 mm, my superstars. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my chinchin right now. If you have a slicer, you can use it, but if you don't have, you can still use a knife. Please don't worry, just go ahead, use your knife like I'm using right now to cut your chinchin. You can then go ahead and cut them into sizable portions. Whatever size you like, you can go ahead and cut it. Some people like their chinchin small, while some people like their chinchin very big and bulky. So whatever size it is you like, you can go ahead and cut it into that size. But bear in mind that what size you cut right now is not the size you will see when you finish frying. It is going to rise and increase in size. So bear that in mind when you're cutting your chinchin. Please, my superstars, take a second to like and share this video. Thank you. Next, we're going to start frying our chinchin. First, you put one in the oil to see if the oil is hot before you pour in the whole chinchin into the oil. Okay, so now you're going to allow it fry, spread it, and once it's well separated, you leave it to fry in the oil. You can use any vegetable oil of your choice to fry the chinchin. When you're frying, please control the heat. Make sure the heat is not too much. If not, it will make the chinchin get burnt on the surface while the inside is not well fried. So you regulate the heat and leave it at medium. At this point, our chinchin has started becoming brownish and almost ready to be removed. Once it starts getting brown, it's about time you remove it, because when it is removed from oil and left in air, it undergoes oxidation and becomes more brownish. So if you don't want it to look burnt, once it is light brownish in color, you can go ahead and remove it from the oil. I fried two sizes of chinchin, the peanut size and the bigger size for adults. Okay, so right now I'm putting the bigger size in oil. After frying, here's what the final chinchin looks like. My superstars, this chinchin is really crunchy, delicious, milky to taste, and has all the components of a delicious chinchin. You can serve this to your guest during the festive season or anytime. And I told you I made two types of chinchin. As you can see, this is what the final looks like. This one right here is the one I made for adults. It's a bit bigger, and this one is a peanut size I made for kids. Okay, my superstars, please encourage me by liking and sharing this video. And if you have any question, please leave it in the comment section. I'll be storing my chinchin in an airtight container, so whenever I have guests, I can give it to my guest. All right, my superstars, till our next video, always and always remember that I love you. Mwah.